This is the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline. It runs from Prudhoe Bay to Valdez. Carries 90% of Alaska's income comes from this piece of pipe. Now, chances are I may have unloaded this piece of pipe as I worked on this pipeline, which put me through college. I worked as a laborer, a teamster, and journeyman carpenter in building this pipeline. A very important piece of pipe to my past and to Alaska's past. Working on this pipeline, this put me through college, this pipeline right here. I would come back and work on it through the summers, and since then I have I've gone through my undergraduate school. I went through a law degree. The law firm which I own specializes in oil and gas law and natural resource development. So I've spent the last 15 years pretty much focused on getting a gas line through Alaska for a couple of reasons. One is to replace the income we're losing on this, to get low-cost energy to Alaskans, and to get more oil in this pipeline by having a gas line. Well, Wally Hickel, I've known him for many, many years, and I got to know him more closely probably over the last 10 years. I traveled to Beijing with him 2 years ago and talked about LNG out of Alaska. And last summer, he encouraged me to run for governor, and he said, "You run, I'll endorse you and do everything I can to help you," and he did. Up until 3 weeks before he passed away, I had a meeting with him. The last meeting with him, he shook my hand. He said, "Bill, build that All-Alaska gas line." And my response was, "Governor, we will do this together," and that was certainly my dream. We would do it together. A lot of people ask about, is there a market for Alaska's gas? And the answer is absolutely there is. It's the world market. It's the premium Asian market. You just look around the world and see what projects are being developed for their gas in other countries, where they're going. They're all trying to go to the premium Asian market, a market that we've been serving actually since October of 1969. The concern I have is, while we're continuing to do studies in Alaska, and we're in the middle of a study right now, it's an open season study. It'll last about 4 years before they decide if there's going to be a gas line or not. Other countries are not studying theirs. They're going to market. They're taking their gas to market. And if we've already lost the lower 48 market because we've delayed so long. The only market we have left is the Asian market. And the very producers that are on the North Slope are working aggressively in Gorgon, Australia, in Papua New Guinea, and Gutter Gas 4 to get those projects, and also in Indonesia, to get those projects online and into the Asian market. So while we study, others are building. It's time for us to stop the studies and start building and get out of the study mode, because that market will not wait forever for us. And so, to me, yes, the money that we're expending on AGEA is a concern. There's some good we can get from that. We have a Class 4 cost estimate from Prudhoe Bay to Valdez for a gas pipeline right parallel to this piece of pipe right here. That's a tremendous benefit that we have paid for. But if we continue to stay into a process where we're trying to study and get a gas line into Canada, where our only market, the premium Asian market, is basically being fulfilled by other projects elsewhere in the world, that's what will end our opportunity to get our gas to market, is we wait too long and study too long, and we're very close to that at this point. We need to stop the studies and go to work. The market all around the world, the other projects is financed on project finance. Basically, the customers pay for it. It's really not unlike a commercial building that's built. The tenants pay for it. So the customers of those shipping gas through the pipeline, through the LNG facility, would be paying for it as part of the tariff. And so we as Alaskans would benefit greatly to have somebody else paying for the lion's share of the cost of the project, while we benefit from the cheap gas. We did. It was on the ballot as an initiative in 2002. 138,000 voters said, yes, we want the All-Alaska gas line owned by the state of Alaska, exactly as I'm discussing. That 138,000 voters represented 62% of those that voted, and that became the law today. It's Title 41-41010 in Alaska statute. So my concept, this isn't anything about my project or anything about me. It's really about the people of Alaska that have spoken loud and clear, saying we want the All-Alaska gas line. In fact, if that law had been followed today, we would be well under construction, perhaps nearing completion of that project now. You know, one thing that a lot of Alaskans don't appreciate is the fact that the right-of-way for the gas line is really right over here to my right. Is the federal right-of-way for a Trans-Alaska gas line from Prudhoe Bay through Fairbanks down to Valdez, and there's also a right-of-way that has been obtained from Glen Allen over here over into the Mat-Su to get gas into the South Central, always as far as Kenai, and hopefully points further. So that permit is there. There's also a federal environmental impact statement was obtained for the gas line, and that certainly would apply to the right-of-way over here. And those took like 8 years, 7 to 8 years to obtain those. So you know, here we have those already available. There's an export license for LNG out of Valdez. Of course, there's already export of LNG out of Nikiski and Kenai. So I know some ask the question: does this start over when with a new project and with the All-Alaska line? And my response is absolutely not. It's finishing a project that was started by Governor Hammond, Governor Egan, and Governor Hickel, and those true statesmen put down their political differences and said, let's do what's best for Alaska. They started a company, Yukon Pacific Corporation, which spent approximately $80 to $100 million obtaining permits. So I say let's use the permits that are there and not start over again. You know, I've been focused on this issue for a long time, and I've been working on this for a long time, and I have the background, I have the education, I have the first-hand experience. I've spent the time with in the boardrooms of the North Slope producers, Exxon, BP, and ConocoPhillips. I've certainly met with British Gas, Tokyo Gas, Tokyo Electric, Bechtel, Sempra, Mitsubishi, Williams, you name it. I've met with them and negotiated with them on what it's going to take for a gas line to happen. So my focus has been pretty laser focused on that for quite some time, both as a professional and as a lifelong Alaskan. So it takes somebody that has my level of understanding and knowledge. The problem we've had in the past is we have administrations come in and they sort of start from scratch and they come up with a sort of a new study, which like we have now. I think AGEA was well intended, I really do. I think that those that were the early drafters of AGEA, I think, had good intentions. I think what the problem is that the world has changed since the license was awarded to TransCanada. The world has changed because of shale gas, and the entire lower 48 market is completely gone. Companies have completely changed their business strategy, their whole business model on energy as a result of shale gas. And yet we continue through this process Governor Parnell continues to try to push the gas through Canada. So what makes me different than other candidates are looking at other ways of starting from scratch, or maybe a small volume line down through McKinley National Park and not come down the permitted right-of-way. I guess those that haven't had the experience I've had sort of look at different options and don't appreciate what we really have right in front of us in the way of market, in the way of gas we have available, in the way of permits that are currently in place. The problem we have is this piece of pipe is 2/3 empty. And the problem we have in Alaska is that it continues to drop by 6% per year, and yet Governor Parnell is doing nothing to put another barrel of oil into this pipeline. Our children's future and our grandchildren's future depends upon resource development in this state. And we have a governor who is unwilling and unable to put another barrel of oil into this pipeline. This is why I'm running for governor. We need a governor that has the background, the passion, the understanding, and the guts to step up and get Alaska moving.